Herbert on the first play wants to pass it. That's complete to Austin Eckler, the running back. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you feel like you can. And when you look at this team, you definitely think that it is, because anytime you can tell your offense, just get us a couple of touchdowns, we got this thing locked down, that's when you know you're playing well.
A Charger first there as Herbert finds Williams. Gets it into the hands of Allen on the jet sweep. And a great job there to read that one defensively. They strung him out, would not allow him to cut upfield. A gain of 32 that time. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. 2nd and 7 from the 20.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And they'll employ the jumbo set now on 2nd and 1. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
That's a nice example of good team defense right there. Ball was snapped at the 1-yard line. They knocked him back and caused a loss. But you notice they were trying to find any type of a get.
And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chargers will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Now a man who's taken the reins with the Cowboys, it's Tony Pollard. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. They go play action here. Purdy. He finds his man, complete. It's Ferguson. That one covers 29 yards, 1st down.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a 1st down.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. The Cowboys at 3-2, a game over 500 here to start the season. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy 1st down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them. We know all the receivers go through those tiptoe drills, right, trying to get their feet down inbounds. But a lot of the times what we don't talk about is when they're up in the air and they catch the ball. You ever notice how they're reaching back with their feet? Not just straight down, but back, because they're trying to create enough distance to make sure their feet are in bounds. They weren't able to get it done on that one, though. Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Tony Pollard, his... Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
On the screen, this is Eckler. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. You look at this Cowboy defense. We know they're going to be tough to throw on. Top 3 in the NFL defending the pass.
They may be ranked 3rd against the pass in the league, but they're the best that I've seen so far. Sometimes the numbers don't tell the full story.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. Call that a 48-yard punt and made even better by a loss on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Offense back out there, and we shine the spotlight on the Memphis man, Tony Pollard. And we check the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down this stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
A give to Pollard running left. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. And the Cowboys going to bring on Brian Anger to punt on 4th down. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you...
He's by himself, Keenan Allen. Across midfield, he's on his way. Keenan Allen, touchdown LA. Keenan Allen, 78 yards. So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they entered play on a 2-game win streak, and then they've got the open date on their schedule next week. So this is a group that's really looking to hit the break on a high note.
And this will obviously be a tough game for them, but go ahead and play this out with me, partner. If they win here and make it 3 in a row, they get to heal up after that. You've got to think that's an ideal setup and a worthy goal to play for in this one.
Purdy's throw there caught by Gallup. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Gallup with the catch there and coming off of a tough 2022. He was still recovering from a torn ACL and ended up with the fewest yards in a season of his career. The Cowboys know he's capable of much more, as he showed there.
Flushed out right. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down. Purdy will set up to throw it here. Eluding the pressure right. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Sebastian Joseph Day breaking through for the sack. On is the punter, Brian Anger, to kick this one away. "36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. A little short pass. This is Everett. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll make it second down. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And down he'll go at the 25. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Once more, here's Eckler. Accelerating, and off he goes. Now he's loose at the 40 and down to the 29-yard line. 69 yards for him on the ground so far tonight, as he has been terrific in this first half. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Here's Herbert now on second down. That's complete to Palmer. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Again, Herbert. And it's caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Eckler will score. Touchdown, Chargers. Everybody in the Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Cowboy offense going to head out now late in this first half. And Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time, because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there.
but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Here's Purdy. Trying to lay one up deep. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. How about this? Now he's free to midfield. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Herbert now. A strip, the ball comes out, but a Chargers player was able to fall on it, and they'll keep possession. We hear them discuss red zone efficiency a lot, CD, and they almost gave that one up in the red zone. Luckily, they'll have another shot.
And you and I both know that every offensive coordinator, play caller in the league, they take particular delight in their red zone calls because those are the payoff ones. But you can't call a play if your team doesn't have the ball. Got to secure it.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. The coverage good, the pressure good, leads to the sack, and it's 3rd and goal now. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, where it was the Falcons who were able to pick up the victory at home. 24-13, the final score. From there, let's head west to see what's going on with the Raiders at home in Las Vegas. And they were winners as they defeat the visiting New England Patriots. Jimmy Garoppolo leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Denver Broncos. Russell Wilson strong in the victory as his guys run their record to 6-1 on the campaign. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. In the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make... And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 53 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. They've kept him in check until that run. That's the first time he's really gotten loose in this game.
And they have to keep that in mind. Don't dwell on the fact that he finally had a big run. You kind of are counting on that as the game went on. Get back to what you were doing before. Start limiting him again.
11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Going to run again here with Pollard. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. It's Khalil Mack that time, shooting in there to get him to the ground.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up fourth. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this will remain a two-touchdown game.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through. And that one...
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the Cowboys are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Purdy looking to throw. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. The one side gets an interception, but their defense comes on the field and picks them right back up by getting a pick of their own.
And I think you saw the same thing that I did, Brandon. As he ran off the field after making that play, we saw his quarterback seek him out and offer a personal thank you to bail him out a little bit as the offense takes the field again.
Running on first down, Eckler. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Here's Herbert. He's got it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with first and goal.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Eckler again. And he will again go backwards as they drive him back to the 4-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
You can almost feel him thinking as he's running the football. Just one more block, anything to get me to the perimeter and around the corner. Couldn't quite get there. Ends up getting spilled for a loss.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on third down.
And his kick is good. And they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7. So they got the turnover started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
Flush to his right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? Purdy from the gun. Escaping the pressure right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. And this pass broken up. Well, the contact well timed there, and now fourth down.
I like what they tried to do there, tried to hit him with something quick, get the ball in his hands, and hope he could make some yards after the catch and pick up a first down. Weren't able to do so on that play.
On fourth down, here's Purdy. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Chargers will have some. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for L.A. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
So now the Cowboys down 24-21, a little over a minute and a half remaining. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as it comes with a minute 25 left to go in the contest. They'll try again here. Second and 10. Purdy to throw. Into the hands of Cooks. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. To throw is Purdy. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push.
Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Picked off by Duron Harmon. And the return here is stopped at the 30. A couple more minutes and maybe the outcome of this one.